Democratic primary ballot for state representative, 113th District. 2 years ago, I mounted a write-in campaign. The new map, which my opponent voted for, puts the boundary line of the 113th District 2 miles north of my home in Ellenwood. So when the boundaries of the 113th District changed in the new recent reapportionment map, it looked like gerrymandering to me. Pratt, where the incumbent's primary opponent in 2020 was from, was dropped from the 113th District. The city of Larned was then added. However, the new district in Larned separated the city of Larned from the area's largest employer, the Larned State Hospital. Larned was split between the 1st and 4th Congressional District, with this line in the city which did not follow the existing ward lines. As a result, Pawnee County election cost has skyrocketed from around $1,800 for the 2020 primary election to over $20,000 for this recent 2022 primary election. More than a tenfold increase in spending of the tax dollars. Gerrymandering is bad government. I visited with many of you before this speaking, and I told you of my past experience, which includes my employment by the federal government in the United States Department of Agriculture, the Agriculture Stabilization and Conservation Service, as it was used to be known, the ASCS office, then renamed the Farm Service Agency, for 12 years in Barton County. I then left the labor market for 12 years to raise my 2 adopted children, who are now adults. I remained active in agriculture while a stay-at-home mom. During that time, I was elected 3 terms to the 3-person Barton County Committee that oversees the local FSA office and rules upon farmers' appeals. Following 9/11, I returned to the workforce. I was then employed by the Department of Homeland Security, Transportation Security Administration at the Great Bend Airport until my retirement after vesting in the full retirement benefits. My major interest my entire life has been farming. I was selected to be a member of the Kansas Ag and Rural Leadership, KARL, K-A-R-L, Group 4. We toured many of the Kansas industries and traveled to Washington, D.C. and South America, which included Chile and Argentina. I am currently a member of Kansas Farm Bureau and grew up on a farm near Cheyenne Bottoms, the daughter of Bob and Bonnie Worth. My younger brother is a full-time rancher and farmer. In 1979, when I married my husband, Kent Roth, who sits here on the front row, he was a state representative, 113th District, the same office I am standing for now. Kent was elected in 1976, replacing a Republican incumbent, which resulted in the Democrats having the first majority in the state of Kansas and their Kansas House in 64 years. John Carlin was selected as the Speaker of the House, and 2 years later, John Carlin was elected to his first 2 terms as governor of the state of Kansas. As a legislator's wife, I attended inaugurals and other events which made me familiar with how government works in Topeka. While my election will not change the political party of the Speaker of the Kansas House of Representatives, my election, like my husband's, may be historic. Presently, the incumbent's political party holds a supermajority, over 2/3. which means any constitutional amendment can be placed on the ballot with no input from the minority party. If I and two others replace Republicans, the number of Democrats in the Kansas House would increase to 42, just over 1/3. I oppose the recent constitutional amendment voted down August 2, and I would oppose putting it back